الله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين أم حسب الذين يعملون السيئات أن يسبقونا ساء ما يحكمون من كان يرجو لقاء الله فإن أجل الله لآت وهو السميع العليم ومن جاهد فإنما يجاهد لنفسه إن الله لغني عن العالمين والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لنكفرن عنهم سيئاتهم ولنجزينهم أحسن الذي كانوا يعملون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Ankaboot. Tonight bi-idhnillahi ta'ala wa bi'awnih, we are starting it inshallah. May Allah also make us see the completion of it and inshallah create the best of effects on our hearts over this learning. This is a Makki surah and a lot of it deals with those believers who are going through hardship, staying in Makkah or when they were migrating from Makkah. And in Makkah they had to face a lot of hardships because the kuffar, they constantly persecuted them. And there is many stories of Sahaba and Sahabiyat who had to face torture and constant persecution and had to live under constant fear for life, fear of their wealth, all sorts of fears as long as they were in Makkah. And when they migrated, that was itself a big challenge. People, the Sahaba, had to lose their wealth, had to lose lives. On the way they were followed, they were attacked, all sorts of things happened. All of this is mujahada. Mujahada is striving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala generally gives great rewards and high status in His eyes after putting people through mujahada. Sometimes people do a mujahada by choice, which is that a person by choice exerts in nawafil, in extra ibadat, in staying up at night, in fasting, in spending and all sorts of things. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of this mujahada, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them high status. A lot of times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to take people to a higher level, but they are not doing anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts a mujahada over them, sometimes challenges in health, sometimes challenges and losses in wealth or profession, all sorts of things that are outside of their control are thrown at them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also grants them sabr and patience and keeps them strong and makes them live through it and elevates them. These are the general rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah is all powerful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does in some cases, grant people without any mujahada. And we should always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for ease. But the general principle is mentioned that the first ayah is Alif Lam Mim. The meaning of it is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَن يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. Do people think that they will be left at ease only on their saying amanna. If somebody says I have believed and that's it, no. وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ, will they not be put to any test? Have people started thinking this, or do people think that that is going to happen? وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ, the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that indeed we have tested those who were before them. فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. So Allah will surely know, and the meaning here is that Allah will make it clear. Allah already knows everything, but Allah will make it clear who are the ones who have alladhina sadaqu, and Allah will also make clear the kadhibin, the liars. So the munafiqeen, the hypocrites, there was many who had become believers to get temporary benefits. They did not have faith in their heart. They were not Muslims. They would only join the group of Muslims and try to get the benefits. But whenever a test or challenge would come, it will clearly distinguish who is steadfast and who is from among the truthful people, and who was there only to get the benefits and get the good side of things, and then they would run away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the wisdom is that Allah would put people in test, put hard times, so that it will become apparent who is truthful and steadfast and who was there only for benefits and they leave. And therein there is benefit, general benefit for Muslims as well, because hypocrites, when they become part of the group, they do much more damage than any outsider. Then for the people who are troubling Muslims and the ones who are giving a hard time, أَمْ حَسِبَ الَّذِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ السَّيِّئَاتِ أَنْ يَسْبِقُونَ, do those who commit evils think that they will outstrip us? Will they outrun us? Will they run away from us? Sa'a ma yahkumun, evil is what they predicate, what they judge, what they decide about themselves, or what they think. It is very evil that they are thinking that they will run away from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or Allah catching them. Man kana yarju liqa Allahi fa inna ajal Allahi la'at. Whoever has expectation, this means that whoever looks forward to meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِنَّ أَجَلَ اللَّهِ لَآتٍ, the appointed time, the time that has been appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ أَجَلَ اللَّهِ لَآتٍ, it has to come, it has been decreed and it cannot be done against it, it will be done. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, He is the all-hearing and the all-knowing. So the people who are suffering, Allah knows and Allah hears. The people who are causing people to suffer, Allah knows and Allah hears. And none of them, neither of them should think that the promised time of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to come. This suffering is temporary, and this cruelty and transgression is also temporary. The power that they have is also temporary. So the cruel and oppressor has to meet their end, and the one who is oppressed also has to meet their end. Allah is Sami and Alim. He knows and he hears and He knows. So He is going to reward and compensate for whatever people are going through. Now, if someone might think that I have gone through hardship, or I had hard times in my life, or I was persecuted, so I have done something, or I have become deserving of something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمَنْ جَاهَدَ فَإِنَّمَا يُجَاهِدُ لِنَفْسِهِ. Whoever strives, the benefit is their own. Whoever strives for their own benefit. Inna Allah la ghaniyyun 'anil 'alamin. Surely Allah is independent of all the worlds. So it's not that somebody has na'udhu billah given a debt to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or has become deserving, that Allah is now bound or forced by a principle or a rule that Allah has to give them something because they went through mujahada. Allah gives anybody and everybody with His mercy at the end, ultimately. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَنُكَفِّرَنَّ عَنْهُمْ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ. That being said, that Allah is ghani, Allah is independent. Out of His mercy, Allah has made a principle, which is that the people, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, those who bring faith and who do good deeds, لَنُكَفِّرَنَّ عَنْهُمْ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ, their bad deeds will be expiated, which means that for sure Allah will erase their bad deeds, all negatives will be removed. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَحْسَنَ الَّذِي كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, and Allah will give them a better reward than even their own expectations for what they used to do. All their good deeds, Allah will multiply them in reward, and their bad deeds will be wiped away. This is a principle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah has made out of His mercy. Otherwise, the truth is that Allah is independent and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not bound by any rules. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the people of Quran. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذين هم أهلك وخاصتك. اللهم إن قلوبنا ونواسينا وجوارحنا بيدك لم تملكنا منها شيئا، فإذا فعلت ذلك بنا فكن أنت ولينا واهدنا إلى سواء السبيل. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.